Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes. It's your boy Zahir here, and I got a nice special little episode. Now, for you fellow arcade junkies, you know what I mean, the 09ers, you know what I'm saying, even some of the OGs, you'll remember the good old Fight Stick TE, this the tournament edition from 09, Street Fighter 4 release. This is nice, you know what I mean, I did a lot of personal mods to this, but we ain't gonna talk about this right here. You're probably thinking like, alright, cool, since we're not gonna talk about that, since it's already modded, well, what's in the box? Well, let me show you. We're going to do an episode on the little brother of the TE, the Madcatz Fight Stick SE. This is from 09 as well. This is definitely a very classic stick. I already had it gutted, you know, I did a couple of, you know, pre-mods and whatnot, and I'll go down the list later. But for right now, this is what we're working on. Alright, so we switched to the handy cam. You see all the parts we have today. So I'm gonna go down the list of things we're gonna do today. We're going to install the Brook fighting board with Audio Plus. We're gonna install the Crown 303 Crazy Dong Pal. This is part of the 303 series, very similar to the Infiltration Stick, very similar to the newly released Knee arcade stick. It's from the 303 family, so that way it can fit inside Japanese arcade style cabinets when Street Fighter 4 released. That was their answer to the compatibility issues when it came to the conversion of playing Crown on Tekken on their own arcade boards to now playing Street Fighter. Very similar stick. The only difference is that the collar is shorter, so that way it can fit inside of a Japanese style arcade stick. The mounting plate is almost identical pretty much. We have some crown buttons. This is gonna be awesome. First time like actually using them for myself. I did an earlier video on where I modded a friend's arcade stick with his crown buttons on the Hayabusa. I'll have that uploaded soon. I got the bat top that comes with it, and when you get a fighting board, it's always best to get a 20-pin connector. This is pretty much, for layman's terms, the easier way, just for the simple fact of you just gotta plug it, and it's a plug and play. You just plug it into the board, you connect all your buttons, and you're good to go. Speaking of which, the audio board itself, it comes with a little headphone jack. You can plug it into your whatever stick you have. You know, you might have to make some modifications. I did with the SE because it didn't fit right, so I had to do a little grinding. But if you look closely, I got the board already secured to the base. I changed the menu board from the original white that comes on it to the black with the TE. So if you look at my TE earlier, you see that this part is white, but this part's black on the SE. I pretty much just switched the parts around. It was very tough, but you know, we got it done. I had to get rid of the original buttons, and I ordered some I'd say 12mm buttons that you can use for any kind of, you know, all-purpose situation. Because these aren't like my action buttons, you know what I mean? Like you can get a pack of these for like $1.50. It's worth it if you're into modding. And I'll take another quick look at the pieces parts. You know, we got the crown buttons, so fresh. Got the red joints. We got the white ones. Now see, they come with a little protective little film. Peel that bad boy off. Oh, so fresh. Love it. Now see, the thing is about Korean buttons, they're just like any other screw-on button. You know, your half IL or, you know, your OBSF, you know, the Sanwa buttons, the 30mm, they have the snap-in and they have the screw-on. So, what you're going to do gonna take out the little screw, fit it into the stick, get on the underside, and just screw it back into place. And if you don't know the rules, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Now we're just gonna go through all of these buttons, put them together.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Yeah. Button installation. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm saying, like, even the stick is hollow, and you can tell Korean buttons, just the crown buttons, they just sound different. You know what I mean? All right. So our next step, we're going to install the Crazy Dong Pal, aka the Mishima Boy. Which this actually surprises me because I'm a real big fan of Boa Love Beef. My Tekken friends in Ohio, they put me onto him, and he's been recently, you know, doing it big in the tournament scene. I saw that first of 5 against Jimmy though. That shit hurt my soul because I like both Brian and Kazuya. So, like I said before, it has a mountain plate similar to all other Japanese arcade sticks. So what you do, you just line it up with your proper directions, you know, make sure it's not backwards. I'm famous for doing that. I'll put a stick in, and then I'm like, well, how come everything's all messed up? So what you're gonna do, you just gotta line them up. Get your screws ready. And for the record, I haven't mentioned this before, but when you get Korean or American style arcade sticks that come with the micro switches installed like this, it's best that you get the converter kit where it connects to the micro switches, and then it comes to a 5-pin connector that's very similar to nearly 80% of all of the conversion kits online, where you can convert it to a 5-pin connector, because these are 0.18 or these are 0.187 connectors, which means that these connectors right here are larger than your standard, you know, 110 connector that goes to your buttons. It's a little indiscretion, but you know what I mean. Some people just they don't like to read descriptions and other specific stuff. So I'd rather me tell you than, you know, you order parts and be like, well, how come it doesn't fit? And then you got a whole bunch of random electronics you can't use. So we're just gonna take our time, you know, installing the stick. We're gonna make sure that it's all lined up and everything is possible. So this is how it's gonna work. I'm going to follow the little diagram I have here on my phone. Make it a one-shot deal. Always make sure your terminals are snug. Always. Or just a quick little. So I don't want to mess with my wires. So you're just gonna follow the diagram that you know, wherever you order it, they have. You could go to brookaccessory.com and you could look at all of their products. They give you a diagram, you know, colored and everything. So all you got to do is just follow the terminals with the diagram, and just put the colors accordingly. And then after that, you attach the daisy chain to all of these buttons, and you'll have all your buttons active and ready to go. We're going to install the top to the stick, dust cover, just push it through nice and easy. You take your actuator, slide that on. Every arcade stick comes with an E-clip. Sanwa, Sumitsu, Hori, Crown. This is what they use to keep the stick in place, keep it nice and tight together. So you just line it up a bit. And what I like to do, I just like to use a needle nose set of pliers. Line it up. You hear it click into place. And after that, we're gonna just put this switcheroo over here. Nice and tight fit. So now we have all of this put together. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna put the finishing touches. I'm gonna slap a couple stickers on it, and I'll get the USB and we'll be good to go. We did it. Alright, here's a little size comparison. We got the SE on the left, we got the TE on the right, as you can see. Now the basic thing that I want to drive to with the point of this mod is that the SE that we just did today is very similar to what was earlier released as the Street Fighter 4 KE Edition SE stick. It was a Korean stick that came out during, you know, I believe 2010, 2011. And it had the infiltration stick. If not, it probably had the standard 303 MJ crown. Point being is that the stick is complete. We're going to plug it into the PS4 and we're going to go into training mode and we're going to see what's going on.